Welcome back to Julian's Magician School, and today we're going to do the $100 card trick. But before we do, I should introduce you to my strange friend here. Now during this trick I'm going to need an audience member to hold one of the props in the trick, and I don't have that. So I've rigged up this strange little device, and I shall be referring to it and talking to it like one of my imaginary friends that I tend to have. Oh, you're looking very shiny today. Alright, here we go with the $100 card trick. This trick has 3 conditions that you must fulfill. Number 1, you need cards. Number 2, it needs to be a trick. It's very tricky. And number 3, you got to tell me where I get the $100 from. I thought so. Alright, maybe you can help me out here. Go through and choose one of these cards. It's okay if everyone sees. It's one of those tricks where it doesn't matter. This one here. Now, what I would like you to do is go through and sign your name on the bottom half. Now, of course, this is a piece of metal, so I'm going to have to do it for you. And that's your signature. Now, I'm just going to put a couple more marks on here. One there, and that, and just a couple more like that. Now, just checking that signature, like if you went to the bank and you withdrew some money and you had to sign the withdrawal slip, that's the signature? Yeah? Well, that's terrific, because look, it says, I owe you $100, and it's signed by you. And I have it. Oh, thank you very much. We have the $100 that we need for this card trick. But this is a legal and binding document, and as such, we should treat it with respect. So we'll keep it nice and safe. That's it. And we'll slip it in the envelope. Seal it up. And I'm also going to write on it, keep your hands, you don't have any hands, but keep them off anyway, off, because it's mine. Right, now I've got to tell you something, that's not part of the trick. That's just called income generation. This is the $100 card trick. If I can make these cards disappear from right under your nose, I get $100. So if I can't do it, you get $100. Here we go with the $100 card trick. I make a little packet like this. And I put a little handle through the middle that you can hang on to. Now there's only one rule you have to follow. Do not take your hands off the ends of the pen. Repeat it back to me. Repeat it back. Ah, the strong silent type. Alright, you hang on to those, you know what to do. Don't take your hands off the ends of the pen. Here we go. If I can make those cards disappear from right under your nose, I get $100. If I can't, you get the $100. 1, 2, 3. Do they feel lighter? No? But they should. Really? Truly? Hang on. Hang on to those, don't let go. Keep hanging on the ends. Are you really? Hang on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, gee. Uh-oh. Hang on. That didn't work very well, did it? All right. Yeah. So that means you get the $100? Well, strike me lucky. I happen to have $100 right here. Now, this isn't cash, but it is a legal binding document. You just take this down to whoever owes it to you, and you can have, hang on a minute, you sneaky devil, don't let go of the ends, keep hanging on. Ah, how did you do that? This trick uses 2 sleights. Now these 2 sleights you can use together like in this trick, or you can use them separately. They're really cool things to know. They're quite old. You don't see them round that often, but they are cool things to know, and you'll put them to good use. Before I tell you about those, I want to just recap on the IOU card. Now that was fun bit, number 7. There's not much to it. You can go and have a look. But the reason I use it in this trick is it gives a motivation to put the card in the envelope. If you just had a card signed and said, now I'm going to put it in an envelope, it sort of starts to invite a bit of suspicion. Why are you putting it in the envelope? So this just gives a little bit of motivation, because I said it's a legal binding document and we have to keep it safe. And it gives us a bit of a reason to put it in there. It just helps the trick along a little bit. All right, the first thing we will need to know is about the envelope. Or I should just tell you, so in that, just follow the trick along, just have a card selected, and of course it doesn't matter if the card is seen when they sign it. Not part of the trick. So they have a card, that could be our card, and then you say that's the IOU, we need to keep it safe. Now, you're going to put it in the envelope, and I did put it in the envelope. It was that card that went in the envelope, but the envelope has a little bit of work done on it, and it's very easy. You take just your regular envelope, take a knife or a pair of scissors, and you cut a little strip. Doesn't have to be perfect, just make it reasonably neat. A little thin strip off the end, so now your envelope has no bottom on it. And that's the secret to this part of the trick. Now I have a couple, and I've stuck in here. Now you can have these envelopes, you can just have that pre-cut envelope and no box, you can just have that on the desk, but it just makes it a little more genuine if you put a couple of those pre-cut in there. And I do a couple just in case you make a mistake and you need another one, and I put a little X on the box so I know that's the pre-cut side, and I have them sitting there. So when you take it out, it just looks like you're taking an envelope out of a box of envelopes, rather than just having one that might arouse a bit of suspicion if it's just sitting there by itself. So you need to keep the deck in your hand, and the other card, the signed card, whatever card, it can be on the table, and then with the opposite hand you pick up the envelope. Now you just need to practice a little bit to see which way you want the envelopes facing, whatever's comfortable for you. Now this is the bottomless envelope. All I do is I place it about halfway along the cards and put my thumb on it like that. Open it up, and you can do that. It looks quite fine. You show the card, that's theirs, and so the backs match. You put it in quite cleanly, and you can push it almost the whole way in. Now as you move back, this is what you do. You simply push that through out of the bottom and pinch it with your thumb, and then pull the envelope away like that, and it's a really clean move. Super easy, but now your signed card is back on the deck, and you go through this, and you don't have to worry about people seeing that. They won't see it. Just keep the gap towards you. Sign it up. Just act like you have put the card in the envelope. And I write something on it like, keep your hands off. And it just sort of like, that's the signed envelope. Without sort of saying I'm going to sign the envelope, I've sort of signed it so you know it's the same envelope. So there's no switches. So there you have at this stage an empty envelope, and you have your card on the top of the deck here. Now comes the second slide. I don't even know what this is called. It's sort of a card stab move. You're going to wrap the cards up in the piece of paper. But don't panic about this. This move is so easy because you have this big cover to do it behind. Here, I'm going to do the move. I've done the move. I'm taking it back. I've done the move. I'm taking it back. I've done it 3 times. No one saw it, so don't panic. So you can see I'll use this piece of clear cell here. When I bring the deck of cards behind, I thumb it off like that. So if you can do that, if you can push the top card off with your thumb, you can do this trick. So you push it off like that when it comes behind, and now all I'm going to do is fold this card around the rest of the cards there. And it's very easy because all you do is push with the bit of paper, and it just starts to fold, and you pinch through like that, and there you have it. I'll go back to the bit of paper now. So I'll do that one more time at speed. You have the bit of paper, and now I'm folding it round. There it goes. And you pinch it like this. And then as soon as it's like that, you can actually turn it round. No one can see it. You can do the rest of the fold there if you want. Now, when I'm wrapping this up, don't squeeze it tight. If you do, you'll just tear the paper. So it's a little twist and a little squeeze. And you want to remember which side the folded card is on. Now you can actually feel it under there. You'll feel it, sticking out. you want to go to the opposite side. So if you've got it on the wrong side, just turn it around so you know that's the side without the card. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, as I lie. That's the side without the card on it, because you're going to stick the pen through it. Now, you're just going to say this is a handle. But if you stick it through this side first, and you can actually get the person to push this through if you want, it goes through easier if you stick it through the non-card side first and through the folded card on the other. You give it to the spectator with these conditions. Just say to them, you must not let go of the card, of the pen. Your job is to keep holding the pen and make them repeat it so they realise don't let go of the pen under any conditions. So you give it to them. Oops. And yep, like that. And then you say, you make up that thing about it's a $100 card trick, and if I can make those cards disappear, I get $100. So you go 1, 2, 3, snap, and of course nothing happens, and you say, did it feel any lighter? Give them a few questions, you go, oh, that's odd. And then so, now I'm taking this back, but you just move their hands around and remind them, don't let go of the pen. And you open up the bottom of the card and keep the fold towards you and away from them. And open that up and give it a bit of shake, and those cards will drop out, and you can pull them out and you go, oh, it didn't work. Now, inside here, there's still that card folded, stuck under there. Now, it's actually folded round almost like in a letter C. So what you do, you see me do it in the video, is you just put your hands in there and flatten it out a little bit. Like, there you go, like that. And you actually flatten the card out a little bit. It's just like you're feeling if there's any extra cards in there. They don't know that. And so they're holding that still, and you go, oh, it didn't work. Well, as it happens, I happen to have the $100 here, and you go to the card, the envelope. Now, there's nothing in it, and that's the bottom there. And all you do is tear, you don't have to rush, the bottom off. Now, the great thing about that is you have just torn off the bit that's going to give it away. So you squash that up and chuck it away. You've destroyed the evidence. You go to take the card out, and of course it's not there. Just give the envelope a bit of a tear, nothing in there. And then you go back to them and ask them to hold it tight. So they're holding that tight, and then you can just pull that off like that, and voila, the card is there. It's a great little trick. People really like it. Just want to make a little point here. You might have noticed in the trick, and in fact probably most of you didn't notice, and that's my point, is that I didn't use a full deck here. I mean, that's even less, that's about 20 cards here. So if you've got smaller hands or you're not really confident using a full deck, just use less cards. It doesn't really matter. This is not a full deck trick, and if someone comments on it, just tell them to mind their own business. Doesn't matter. Now, this second slide here, the one with the card stab, the fold in the paper, we're going to use that in the next video, which is, I think it's going to be number 77. It's called Shake My Booty, and it's another fun way that you can use that. Now, it's probably not going to, it's going to be a week or so before it comes out, so hang in there, and remember, if I can do it, you can do it.